I'll actually tell you a funny story. I won a CCMA case, and the person didn't, get anything, and then he took me to the EFF.
Wowee.
So
And then
just
the
other
EFF
abbreviations.
And then
Yeah.
the EFF phoned me, and I had a long talk to this guy. I said, "This is the fact. This is the story. I'm really." He said to me, "But ma'am, we need people like you at the EFF."
Hi everyone, welcome to Recovery Room. I am Janice.
And I'm JC, and I'm super excited about today's guest because I don't know if she remembers, but we have quite the history. And no, we didn't sleep together. We conveyed in different ways, but I cannot be more excited about the legacy that's sitting with us in the room. Philosophant.
Well, there's a lot of things.
That's kind of where it kicked off, and then it
It just snowballed, and it's a iconic brand on the chair today.
absolutely.
So before we carry on, Annie Malan.
Annie Malan, welkom in die studio.
Baie dankie, en ek onthou baie goed. Ek het jou ontmoet in die kerk. Dis waar ek jou opgetel het.
Church
I
first.
was flirting with you in church.
Flirting with JC in church.
No. Actually, I went to her when I worked in advertising. I worked for a company called Siakula Advertising, and the section I was working in was Toll Reach.
Toll Reach.
Ulrich, yeah.
And we did so many activations with you guys.
Yes.
And I still have a book from Africa with a lion that you guys gifted me
Yes.
at the end of our campaign because, it's important for a client and a supplier to have a very healthy relationship.
Yes.
It's not a me-you situationship. If you take hands,
Yes.
it's like, what is the sound of one hand clapping? You can't hear. But if two hands clap and come together, you make magic. And we did so well. It was for, the client was APSA at the time.
Yes, it was.
And I even got an award from APSA for everything that we accomplished for that.
Wow, that's awesome.
How can I not remember?
So obviously, as you can hear, there's a lot of business talk. That's gonna come out
Sorry,
today.
yes.
But let's rewind all the way back. So why I say iconic brand is because your first project was Feel as a Kind.
Yes, feel as a kind.
Feel as a Kind. Do you still hear Meis a Kind when you walk somewhere?
All the time.
Really?
Sometimes I think people probably think I'm a baby in my face. Maybe I have a baby face.
You do, a baby.
You do.
I have a baby
You
face.
have a very young
because,
face.
Oh, yes, at 52, baby
Yes.
face means it's a bargain.
52?
I'm 52.
Holy crap.
And, people absolutely see that face and they're like, daar gaan klein Nina van Feel as a Kind.
Still.
And then obviously Saartjie. né?
Yes,
Saartjie,
Saartjie,
Saartjie was the
yeah.
next one. And the fascinating thing is with Saartjie, they cut my hair short, they dyed it black, they permed it. It's a big shock for a little girl of 12 years old to go from long, pretty, blonde, Barbie doll to this curly head.
You had a bell, a little
Yeah.
rebel as well.
But Feel as a Kind was 11, primary school. And there I was sitting in hotels in Knysna on a film set and making a movie.
Do you still have very vivid memories from that shoot?
I have, not vivid, I have specific proper moments that I can still remember. I can still go back in time. And I still love sweet potato. So I eat paleo and my starch is a sweet potato. And just like little Nina, there's always sweet potato on the
Yes.
fire. And that's my go-to snack. What a healthy eating habit to learn. At
Absolutely.
11. And if you're 11 and you're on a film set, you get S&T.
Yes.
So this is your money, your pocket money to now buy food in the evenings. So little Annie goes, buys a toast of cheese because that's all you eat when you're that
Yes.
young.
Yeah.
And then I have money to buy little shells. And those were the years when the shell shops in Knysna still had pansy shells.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
Real pansy shells.
Yes.
So I would blow my S&T on at the shell shop.
Oh, cute,
So,
man.
Annie, then you went from Feel as a Kind, you went to Saartjie, you went to a lot of different lots of things as well. But then you stopped.
Paused.
Then I paused.
Did
so
you pause or did you stop?
don't we pause with everything?
I don't think we do pause.
It's just like training.
Yeah.
You go to the gym and then you don't.
yeah.
And you never stop because at some point I'm going to want to sweat again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it was Feel as a Kind Saartjie, That English Woman, Dirk de Villiers,
Yes.
is a British movie with a British actress in the lead that we filmed in Brandfort. Super Snuiters, about the
Yes.
three little nerdy kids with amazing stuff ahead of our time in terms of
was- it
green
was.
screen and shrinking people.
Yes, it
and,
was
You know,
actually,
it was really fascinating that we did it those years. And then
Hannibal was there as well.
Port Hannibal se toere. And then Port Full Winter.
Yes.
Winter,
So-
wat elke
Ja.
persoon op skool geken het. al.
Adorable about Port Full Winter is I auditioned for the main character because I read Marietta Mortens's book and I wanted to now be, you know, this
The
girl.
lead, yeah.
Exactly, because, you know, now at this point you only play the lead.
Yes.
And I need to be the lead. And,
Yeah.
and the producers said, but you're a little bit young. And I'm like, but I'm standard 9 and the girl is standard 9. But I haven't even kissed a boy at that age.
yeah.
So, I mean, you know, the maturity wasn't.
Yes.
So then they said, we want you to play the baby sister. I said, absolutely not, you know, because you think you only play leads. And
Yes.
I went back to school and we just finished Super Schneiters.
Yeah.
And I was like, now I must go back to school.
Yeah.
And my mom's, the landline rang and they said, look, we cast someone else as the baby sister. And they somehow, it just doesn't work.
With the dates,
With
yeah.
Christelle Smith, who was then the lead.
Yes.
Please, can Annie reconsider to be the baby sister? And I thought, well, you want to go back to school? You want to go and sit in Bloemfontein in a hotel and make this movie? Done. And, you know, it's fascinating how God works because when the movie came out, obviously my school used to buy a lot of tickets.
Yeah.
And then there was a premiere and everybody from the school went. And when I watched the movie and I saw the sex scenes,
Yes.
which was done by Christelle and Francois,
Yes.
I was ice cold and I thought, oh my word.
Imagine that was
And
me.
by that time, I had become head girl of Afrikaans Hoër Meisieskool Pretoria. And I thought, imagine I did that sex scene. They would have taken my badge away from me.
Yes.
Like, you know, remember, it was
It was
Very
controversial,
conservative.
and so, you know, and that's a very important message that I enjoy sharing with people is, you know, sometimes God doesn't give you what you want and you will thank him later.
Because you'll see the bigger picture.
Always, yeah. And then, so now they made me head girl and I get the call to come and audition for Igoli. And my mother said, well, Annie, you must choose. But remember, they made you head girl.
Yeah.
Nee? And I thought, you know, wouldn't it be fascinating to just have one full year,
School year.
at the school?
Yeah.
Because then from standard 5 until, standard 5 until matric,
Yeah.
I've never had a full school year. So I thought, you know what, I have to honor this position that was placed on my
yes.
shoulders. And I'm very grateful I did that. And so was the accountancy teacher and the maths teacher, because I would have never passed those subjects if I didn't just at least catch up. Because remember also, I always had to catch up my schoolwork.
Yes, because you weren't
That
there.
was the hardest part. You film from 6 in the morning till 6 in the evening. And then at night, you still have to go and, you
your
know,
homework and-
study your
yeah.
matric Latin vocabulary for the next exam.
Yeah.
So that was pretty tough
Yeah.
and intense. And then, you know, you head girl and you've got your fabulous here. And after that, I studied part-time through UNISA law because then came Glaskasteel.
Yes,
Yes.
So the SABC then wanted their soap. And then I did that. And then because I was studying part-time, I started to work because I thought, well, if I'm not acting, I can do stuff.
Yeah.
And I landed in an insurance company working with POPCRU, the Police and Prison Civil Rights Union.
Yeah.
And a little girl of age 21, I would travel and be in police stations and prisons in Tzaneen, Venda, Transkei. Like, I literally have been to every police station and every prison in this whole country.
But you were also then, by that stage, very recognizable by
Yes.
everyone.
So that was the other wonderful thing that the world gave me, is extremely recognizable. Everybody knew me. But when I went to a police station in Thohoyandou with a bunch of Venda policemen,
Nobody would know who to Annie.
and in retrospect, I could really then come into my own. I could really just be me
you, yeah.
and do my job properly and do the work. Surely there were other spots where you were recognized and all, but I mean, I would go and stay in Umtata for a week. There's a fantastic story. I was in Umtata and there was only one aeroplane a week that would fly out of Umtata.
Oh, wow.
So I had all my meetings with the comrades and I visited all my police stations, and it was the Wednesday and my work was done, but I had to like wait 4 more days for a flight. And I thought, let's go and check out what's happening at the airport.
Yeah.
So I drove to the airport with my rental car and I said to them, look, I don't know. And, those years you could still walk onto the runway.
Yes, yeah.
And I see this massive Dakota on the runway. It was an army Dakota. And I walk in there And I said, waar gaan julle ouens nou heen? No, we are going back to Waterkloof Air Force Base.
What?
But there, it was a bunch of Afrikaans generals en, maar is jy nie Annie Milani? En ek sê, generaal, ek wil nou huis toe gaan. Ek het nou my werk gedoen. En hy sê, kyk, ons gaan nie jou laai. As hierdie vliegtuig val, gaan jy 'n disappeared human wees vir die res van jou lewe of vir die res van jou nie lewe nie.
Yes.
So julle moenie die Guptas kritiseer nie. Ek het lank voor die Guptas onwettig gaan land.
I love
En
it.
toe land ek daar in die Waterkloof Air Force en hulle het my nog met 'n bussie teruggevat na my maale toe wat in Groenkloof gebly het. Hier lui die deurklokke, hier kom laai die army my af by
Hoe cool is dit?
Dis 'n fascinating story,
I
né?
love that.
I love that.
En jare daarna het my ma gegaan vir haar gun lisensie want sy dra nog al 'n gun by haar. Toe sê die generaal vir of die polisieman, hy sê maar ek ken jou dogter, ons het haar 'n lift gegee
Tot
uit
in Waterkloof.
tot in Waterkloof.
I
So
love
toe
that.
toe daai business bug jou gebyt het, was jy hooked.
Ek dink daai business bug het gekom vroeër.
Okay.
Ek dink dit het gekom, jy weet jy is dit 'n koekverkoping op skool of ons het altyd as kinders die ou klere gevat en op 'n straathoek gaan verkoop. Jy weet so jy daai tipe ding gedoen.
Yes.
En dan die business bug byt jou want jy's jonk en jy het 'n kontrak. Jy het 'n kontrak wat jy teken en jy moet nou op stal wees en jy gaan 'n betaling kry en jy weet
So you understand business earlier.
you've got a checkbook and a bank account, long before
Yes.
other people. But then, the speech came and the realization, the responsibility
Ability of that. Yeah.
that you have here. Because, what are you going to do with this? So I don't think it's a business brain. It's also a hunger. It's an intense, inherent need to always deliver,
Yes.
to always do what's expected of you.
Yeah.
And that's what it gave you.
Did you ever feel that in your career you had to choose between the business and the acting side?
Oh, it happened a few times.
Okay.
When I lived in Zanin, when I was running the Northern Province offices for this insurance business, they called me for I Wish You Were Here. It was a travel program, and every episode they took a celebrity to some destination, and then they would present it. And they phoned me and they said, "We want you for an episode, and we're going to go to Egypt."
Oh, wow.
And I loved getting the call, and I knew that next week I had all these meetings with about 52 people that I couldn't let down in business. I had a small team working for me. I couldn't let them down. And it was just a logical, responsible decision to decline. And, until today, I've never been to Egypt. I'm fascinated with Nefertiti and everything. I've never been to Egypt. But I often reflect on that. And years later, Katinka Heinz made a series in Joburg. And, it was there was a part for me, and it was very exciting. And then I was busy with Standard Bank at the time, and they called me in, and they had a massive campaign that we had to oversee. And now you've got 12 people at your office, and you've got 6 people from client side. And the clients love the idea that you are a little bit known because they know they can trust you. They know they can take you to the media before they take you to court, right?
Yeah.
So there's that.
You have to be
They
available
love
for them.
that, but when the job needs to be done, they love to know that Annie is on that phone.
Absolutely.
And Annie is going to make sure
She's
that
gonna sort it out.
we are going to deliver according to, the contract.
Anya is the only client, because he's also on our books as an artist, but also a client. It's the only client in my entire career that pays before we invoice.
Yeah, that never
That
happens.
is,
That never happens ever.
I always taught, people in my sales teams, I said, as jy moet gee, jou hand moet oop wees om te gee. En of dit nou is om betyds of vroeg te betaal, of jy weet 'n bietjie ekstra moeite te doen met iemand, jy moet gee, want as jou hand oop is, kan jy ook ontvang.
Correct.
As jou hand toe is, want jy is nie 'n gewer nie, gaan jy ook nie kry nie.
Yeah, but that's not something that's standard in the industry.
Yeah, some people don't operate like that.
Well, most people don't operate like that.
Yeah, true.
Weet jy, ek het op Swartwater se filmstel, toe sit ek hierdie wardrobe assistentjie so en kyk. Jy weet, daai kindertjies leer, hulle het niks, hulle doen bitter min. Pak ek al my grand klere uit my kas uit, wat moet knope kry, wat moet is Chanel langbroeke en dis goed wat regtig deur iemand met 'n bietjie kennis. Sê ek vir hulle okay en ek het 'n prys, ek het kontant daar. Daai kindertjies het op al hierdie labels gewerk. Die een is 'n verskriklike groot wardrobe persoon vandag. Jy weet ons is nog maatjies op Instagram.
Ja.
Maar dis vir my spesiaal om te dink, jy weet iemand het hulle bietjie gaan ophef en ja, ek het hulle betaal.
Just give them a chance, ja.
Maar jy weet ek hou nie daarvan as mense stil sit en niks doen nie.
Ja.
Jy moet if you give someone something to do, it doesn't have to be a monetary thing. It can also be a purpose.
Yes, absolutely.
That's
a
cool.
purpose.
That is cool.
Annie, we live vicariously through your social media.
I do,
Quite the
especially.
socialite, aren't you? Stuff you post is your exercises, your events you do, the activations you do, premieres.
everywhere.
We live through you.
Thank you.
What part, is
do
that
you
still
find
the
the time?
entertainment part? that
Okay,
comes?
so let's start with the day my mother got onto Facebook. I got off from Facebook. And
Your
then
mother's on Facebook.
My mother's on Facebook and she posts her cats and her babushkas and her cranberry collections and her stuff. So I'm like, I'm going off Facebook. And then Instagram started to happen and I was quiet for a very long time. And then, you know, sometimes you know what it's like. You're sitting like, should I post it? What's this one going to think? What will everybody think if I not post this again? Can I tell you a secret? Nobody gives a flying care about it.
Exactly.
And then it was Mel Robbins that said in a podcast how she hesitated doing her first post and she eventually did it. And the message was, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be this video footage. If it's beautiful to you, post it. And the real reason why it's important to post it, you keep deleting photos from your phone because you're running out of memory.
Yeah.
So I can go back 4 years ago and I can see all my photos from Cannes Film Festival on my Instagram page. There I am with Antonio Banderas. There I am with Goldie Hawn.
Yeah.
There I am with Sharon Stone. Where would I have stored these photos if I didn't post it on Instagram?
I
That's a
also
nice
see
way to
that
look
I
at it.
use it as a store place for me and my family's photos, especially Facebook.
Yes.
Facebook is the place where I do my family
Everything is
stuff.
there. Yeah.
I just often think, you know, if you now die, you know, when something happens to someone, everybody goes and writes something nice on their wall. You guys are my agent. You must make sure that people write nice stuff, okay? You must go and delete.
And go delete them.
Or at least go write something. Imagine
Yes.
you get like 2 little comments.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, bye-bye, Annie.
I said something in the office yesterday about you, by being your agent, and I was like, why the fuck is Annie even asked to audition? She is a legacy brand. We should sell her and pitch her, not say let her audition,
Yeah.
because that's who you are.
Well, you know, I think South Africa is not Hollywood.
No, it's not.
And I understand that.
Yes.
And I do think where I admire the younger talent and younger actors is, you know, I can't self-tape. We are perfectionists. I need the camera, I need the sound guy, I need a studio, I need the proper light. Now I need to focus only on my dialogue and my inner journey of my character.
Yeah, okay, now I have to do
And
everything.
I want to do Meissner technique and bounce off someone with talent. Now you've got to do all this and send in the self-tape. And I think it is remarkable what the young people do today, because that is definitely not for
So
me.
what is remarkable is that they are able to self-tape very, very well,
Yeah.
but do not know what it is to be on set.
That's it. So it's the other
So
way
we have
around.
the
Annie.
opposite that we deal with now. So then the moment they get onto, because now you're in a confined environment, we can do 5 self-tapes. You can do 5 takes if you want to find the right one. You can do 100 if you want to. Then they get into set, and then there's a sound technician and a DOP and a director,
they
And
get thrown,
and then
nerves.
they cannot do it.
So the important thing for me about being on a film set, you are not there to make friends.
No.
I arrive on a film set and I see the actors and they're joking around and they're making all sorts of small talk. I am a very different person when I arrive on set. I do not split or share my energy. I am completely focusing on my character. There was a film set where, you know, I had an affair with the main actress's husband. I wouldn't greet her in the mornings. I was not interested to know that she didn't sleep well, maybe she had a headache, maybe the child kept her up. I have hate for this woman. And if I have a moment of sympathy behind the scenes here before we go into the take, I'm sorry, it will show.
It will show because your eyes can't lie.
It will show, and even if it's showing to me in my inner work that I am doing while I am giving the audience my character, it's false. So people talk about method acting. It's the only way I know how to do it. But when you get on a film set, you are professional. You can talk to me if you want to run lines.
Yeah.
But chit chat and small talk is not on my game plan. And even the makeup artists, they will tell you, I mean, I'm still friends with every person who's done my makeup on any set. Still friends with them, still book them, very close with them.
Yeah.
But they know if I want to talk to Annie, I can run lines with Annie. Yeah. I can ask her to close her eyes to do her makeup. But do not ask me about the sushi restaurant that you want to go to this weekend. My character doesn't eat sushi. My character is allergic to fish. And now you want to ask me about the sushi restaurant.
I love this.
Yeah.
Because the layers that I learned to build for characters is so deep. It's not just, why is this character here? Was she in a bad mood when she bought the stop? Did the husband buy it? Was it before or after the
So
divorce?
you really question every single thing.
Absolutely. Wow. And that's also the other thing is, for the actors out there, we don't have that much work as people have overseas.
Yeah.
But you have got to stay to your truth and your thumbprint.
Yes.
So very easy. For me, I always get the invitations to be the tart, the trophy wife, the businesswoman.
Yeah.
And there's enough traits that I can work with.
Yeah.
Nobody is going to cast me as the mother who runs the soup kitchen and can churn out anything in a kitchen in a nanosecond and nurtures 5 babies. You see? You see? No. And if you're going to send me that script, I can literally not do that. And even we are all critical, concerning viewers. When you're watching a Hollywood movie and some actress, Nicole Kidman, is trying to be an opposite of what they are,
Yeah.
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
You know, how often do people say, yeah, but she doesn't work for me with a dark hair. And, you know, unless you're really going for a strong character. By the way, Charlize Theron in Monster, serial killer, that's under Tart, trophy wife, serial killer. It's still in the same range.
Yeah.
But you need to have your thumbprint of what you can
Specialize.
So, but how would you then deal with that if it's in a soap environment, where it's like a voice
Quick turn.
machine?
Yeah.
So I never did soaps.
Yeah. Now, how would you? Because that's
But
obviously-
Or would
for me,
you?
the respect for soap environments is huge
Yeah.
because I know you arrive 6 o'clock in the morning on the film set, you shoot until 6 o'clock tonight, and we had that on drama series as well. When I get home at 6 o'clock tonight, I have to study my words for the next morning.
it's not just studying for you; it's obviously going to depth for.
It's going. And what I have picked up from soap actors who's done a lot of soap work, they maybe don't bring the soul and the depth and the creativity to a character, but their technique.
Yes.
Their technique, I cannot compete with anyone
Yeah.
in terms of technique if I look at soap actors.
Would you do it though?
A soap.
Let's say Binnenlander School.
Yes, because I'm going to pitch her for all these soaps, so she has to
Ek wil
do.
nie 'n seepie doen nie, man.
If you
No,
do
you know
so-
what? I think it's so hard work. It
is hard work.
I think it's hard work, and I think soaps are there for the industry, for people who do this as a living, day in, day out.
Yeah.
It's their gig. It's what they do. You know, there's another thing that I really battle with that soap actors are perfect with, and it's that fabulous thing called continuity.
Yeah.
My newfound best friend on any film set is the continuity girl.
person. Yeah.
Because I will go and I will deliver and do and, you know, chuck the pot plant
Yeah.
and cry, and then they yell cut and the crew's clapping for me and I'm like, I'm a winner. And then continuity says, Annie, we're going to go in for a close-up.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, fuck. And over the years, I had to learn and watch your Oscar actors.
Yeah.
I walked into a store. There was a man at the door. Go and watch the mannerisms that they work out
Yes.
for a line. The next movie you watch, just watch the mannerisms that they bring in. It's so subtle. It is so part of the dialogue. It's not forced at all, but we are not there.
They don't move unnecessary.
They don't move unnecessarily.
because they know if they have to pick something up, they'll have to do that again.
You're not going to talk like this
But
the whole time.
let's talk about move, because when I did speech and drama classes before Feel as a Kind, and I saw the ad and I auditioned for the movie, I did speech and drama classes. It was a new thing.
Yeah.
Girls were either doing piano or flute or violin, and those music teachers chased me out of their classes, all of them. Oh, there was ballet was an option. So speech and drama then came along, and that's where I found my feet. And you learn to improvise, improvisatie.
Yeah.
So, you learn to think up stories, think on your feet very quickly, very creatively. But you learn mime, because mime is the oldest form
Yeah, it
of
is.
acting in the world.
Yeah.
In Rome and in Greece, you had the street artists. People couldn't necessarily hear them. They could see them.
Yeah.
And a year or two ago, I went to do a mime class with a bunch of students. I didn't give the class. I went to roll on the floor with them and did the little stringy pull and learned to climb the ladders. And because before you deliver a line, you need to hear, feel, think,
Yes.
move.
I
and
always
don't do
tell
that.
new actors, I mean, I dabbled in acting quite a while, and Janice was my agent, and I was quite successful in it for a couple of years. That's after I met you. So you didn't even know. I know we met here and there after that. But when you guys come in and they say, but what is acting? I mean, acting is reacting. So you have to listen to what your player, your teammate is doing to you.
Well, that is the Meissner technique.
Yeah.
And it's got a fall from you. And very interesting with the Odyssey, the new Christopher Nolan
Yes,
movie.
yes.
They filmed it on IMAX. Those IMAX cameras are so big, they had to put a mirror here. So for the eye line, because I need your eye line
yeah.
to deliver the line on close-up.
absolutely, yeah.
But the camera is so big, actor can't be here. So they had to construct mirrors around the camera so they would act into mirrors.
To have the eye line as well.
To have that eye line.
That's beautiful that they thought of that. eh?
Exactly. But the fact that you've got to bounce off someone. So if you have a selfish actor that you're working with,
Oh, yes. And
they
we've
don't
had
give
that
you
before.
enough, that's a real problem.
It is a real problem.
A thing that I learned on the one set is I had to really stare into someone's eyes, not in a romantic way. And this is a much older actor, and he said to me, "You know what you do? Pick one eye."
Yeah.
And now I've learned that trick. Do you know how intimidating? Look, I'm looking at you. Now I'm looking at you at one eye. Kyk hoe stip.
Yes.
Okay,
It looks very.
It's like a zone in focus.
But look at that baby trick that a very generous actor,
Yes.
Dirk, taught me that. Said, kyk na daai een oog. And now you are so focused. Now I sit in business meetings, I'm like, no, I want to close this deal like this. Poof,
Yes.
no way.
fireworks. You see, I'm so glad you also did it.
That is an amazing trick.
It's amazing trick.
Because sometimes I don't know which eye to go to.
Right? And you do this. And when the camera is this close on you,
You see
your eye is doing it. Looks like you're reading the news from
Yes.
a teleprompter, but you're not. Pick one eye.
Yeah.
Daar gaat hy. The other amazing note that I got from John Trengove.
Yeah.
John Trengove is going places.
Yeah.
He's just done the Manosphere movie.
Yes, yeah,
with
yeah,
Jason
yeah.
Lee. He did The Wound
Yeah.
in Neba here in South Africa. So he deserves a global stage.
Yeah.
But that man, so before we go for a take, he would say to me, Annie, I want you to think that you've left the kettle on. Your kettle is on and you are having this discussion with this person, but the kettle is on and you're thinking you're hearing that kettle.
nice.
Now look how he keeps me in the moment,
Yes.
but he's just distracting me so that I'm not all there. How's that for a note? Well, I want you to think that your pants are sitting a bit tight today and you haven't weighed yourself. That's the thoughts. So how amazing is that as a note?
That's beautiful.
For an actor. And that, I mean, I won the Artikofeer Media Veertjie Best Actress with that. And it was all that John Trengove.
Because that's subtle thought changes that
Subtle.
happens as well.
So subtle.
We can talk forever, but I want to get to the fuck ups. Tell us a fuck up in your life that
Okay.
really didn't work out.
So in business or in acting?
Both.
Both. Okay, I must first tell you this cute story. So I've got a brand activations company, and I devised this little thing for Pick and Pay Go banking. We hand out empty popcorn boxes on the street corners, and if you bring it into the nearest Pick and Pay, we fill it up free of popcorn.
Okay.
So it's a cheap giveaway,
Yeah.
and then we get the feet in the store, and while you're there, we're signing you up for Pick and Pay Go banking. And this campaign was so clever, and we were running it on a national level. And then we were doing well with it. And client says to me, we want to go to Grahamstown because it's Grahamstown Art Festival and there's a rugby game, and we're going to pay. We don't want to just have your teams there. Annie, we want you here. We want your guys from up here. We're all flying down. Now, and you go into perfection mode.
Yeah.
And I literally, I'm blushing already. I went to the market and I bought a 10-kilogram bag of popcorn mielies. Want ek het nie gedink Grahamstown se Pick n Pay gaan popcorn mielies hê nie. And I flew a bag of popcorn mielies down to Grahamstown. And only when we set up all the popcorn machines, look, listen, in my own defense, I mean, it was like thousands of boxes. It was a lot, okay?
yeah.
But I walk into the Pick n Pay and we set up all the popcorn machines and all my brand ambassadors are there and the manager of the store says to me, "What are you doing with all this popcorn?" I said, "No, I flew it down from Joburg. I'm very prepared." He said, "Can I just go and show you my shelves?" Daar is genoeg popcorn in daardie Pick n Pay.
Yes.
But it's funny, but it shows you a preparedness.
Yeah.
It's an over preparedness.
Yeah.
And I once had to fly, I think 50,000 Absa branded lip ices down to Durban for the soccer game. And I took my golf bag and I made it full of these, and I had it as hand luggage. And you try and explain to customs.
Why do you?
Why do you have
They
50,000?
opened so many of my lip. I still said to the client, I think I need to credit you for about 50. I ended up having to give lip ices to all the guys at the airport
No
because
ways.
they, like, wat maak jy
Ja.
50,000 lip ices in a golf saak op die lughawe. So there were those moments. On a more serious note, I think in business, any entrepreneur will agree with me. The biggest mistakes we make is when we appoint the wrong people.
Yes.
And unfortunately, the labor laws in South Africa is in such a way that you can't just, unwind it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, it's fine. Me as a business, I can sit it out and I can do the 3 months and, and follow my processes. But I often think how cruel and unfair it is to that young human being who now got a job.
Yeah.
And now they have to work here because mom and dad or the family says, but you got a job. That person is so wrong for the job. I know it. That person knows it. But now we have to sweat this out for a certain period. And you are actually breaking that little flower.
Yeah.
So there's a very deep problem there I have.
And you've had experiences with that. in your
Oh,
career.
yeah. And I mean, especially in my game, because I don't employ actuaries or,
Yeah.
I work with young people.
Yeah.
What I do love is a lot of CEOs and senior guys over the years would say, "Annie, can my son please come and work for you?
Beautiful.
You don't have to pay him a cent. But I've seen what you do to the youngsters." And then within 3 weeks, I've got that boy shaving the beard off or, cutting the hair. Or I don't zoom in on that. I make them work.
Yeah.
But, these guys, I say, we see how you operate because I treat them the way I was treated on film sets,
Okay.
like a little grown-up.
Yeah.
Okay.
You come in, you're young, you're 20, and I said, "Come, you're coming with me to this meeting.
Yeah.
You do this." But I'm just new. I'm just 20. I'm like, "Yo, in so what?" And I think that was another strength for me over
That's how
the
they
years.
learn as well.
I could do things at a very young age, which was deemed not normal for my age.
Yes.
So age to me is not a barrier. I don't care how old you are.
Yeah.
I want you to do this. Where you mess it up, obviously I'm going to catch you.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to make sure that this thing is perfect on the other side. But I was never scared or shy to push young people. And some would love the push. I still have a lot of ex-staff that sends me a thing every time they get promoted and every time that, like these very beautiful, that's where you go, okay, there's my legacy.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
Which is more than enough.
That's my child right there. Some days when you feel lazy, I'm like, "Hey, you tell me what you're doing because I just need to be reminded that I have a legacy somewhere."
Yeah.
Like that.
And even with our actors that have worked for you, like the response would always be how you treated them with respect.
Yes,
That's always the word.
Yes.
Was it
That's
a
the
fun
key,
job?
right?
And they go like, "No, I need to treat yourself with respect."
respect.
And that's a line that you don't hear in the industry a lot.
But you know what? I also find that, you get the older sort of film crews that's still old school.
Yeah.
Very much.
And they think, and I've watched this from the sideline, they think the little actresses come in, yeah, stand there, there's your number. Who are you? And I'm like, dude,
Don't. Yeah.
can't do that anymore.
Played by numbers.
You cannot talk to people like that. I mean, yeah, you could talk to me like that, but I would get you.
Yes.
I
They
would
won't talk
get
to you like that,
They
yeah.
won't talk to you. But these little young quickies, and I'm like, oh, this is not okay.
Not gonna, yeah.
And not just in the film industry. I mean, I've watched a brand manager yell at a merchandiser in a store when they packed the polish not in the right shelf. And I like literally called the bosses and said, "Weet jy wat? We don't do this.
We don't talk to people.
You're going to achieve nothing."
Yeah.
So I do think there's still there's some of the older people in the industry that do need to grow up as
Yeah.
well. It's not just the young ones growing up. There's older people
It's
that need,
adapting, evolving.
they
in the
need
market,
to
yeah.
also evolve. So the messes on film set, you know, I would know my words. I would know my co-actors' words. I would know everyone's words. But I have declined work, and I have said no for things like, you know, I've shared with you. I also, when I did Swartwater, I declined to do the second series because at that point I was doing a lot of business with customers who were in lawsuits with Hlaudi Motsoeneng at the SABC.
Okay.
I see.
And now, you know, there's
Ja,
an
it's-
integrity
yeah.
chip in me going, jy kan mos nou nie ja sê vir 'n SABC series, even if it's a production company doing it for
It's
them.
still
I
contentious,
cannot.
yeah.
And I'm sitting with these super senior people,
Yeah.
and I'm under NDA, and I am privileged to information
Yes.
that I know, and now I want to go and act in an SABC series. And I don't think people always understood the whole predicament I was in.
Yeah.
So there were some directors, producers that didn't take it too well when I said, no, I'm not doing
There was also integrity.
a series. But there was a business integrity that I had to follow at the time that wasn't really properly understood.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you did it because it shows what your character is.
Well,
stand for,
me
yeah.
too, me too. And I could look my client in the eye,
Yeah.
and I could look my team in the eye.
Exactly.
So, you know, that
So,
was it.
I've got two things that I want to ask you.
In closing, yeah.
Oh, sorry, are we in closing
Yeah.
already?
We can chat forever, but time.
Have you ever considered going into teaching? And secondly, have you ever considered going into politics?
So, when the teacher is ready, the student appears. When the student is ready, the teacher appears.
Oh,
And
yes.
is the
I do not have to be in a classroom to teach people stuff. I teach them things all the time. I said to a personal trainer in the gym this week, I said, come here, you're 25. And I see you at the juice bar buying your oats there.
Yeah.
You pay 50 Rand. Why don't you pack your own oats?
Yeah.
Times 10, I mean, stop buying like a flippin' millennial and start thinking about your money. And because this is a young kid, but I mean, you know, when you're young, you're part of the boys and you're
Yeah.
there, and now you're eating from the juice bar. And I said, no. We're going to fix this thing. Watch how much money you're going to share. So, you know.
You do teach in
So
real
I
life,
will
yeah.
teach wherever I can and wherever I feel this person will appreciate the lesson. With the brand activations, obviously, you have to teach them about
Everything, yeah.
elke brand, and every time there's a thing. And
yeah.
I mean, we have taught our people about funny shampoos and sunscreens, and you know, every brand has got their unique selling points, and they want you
Yeah,
to do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. So my father's oldest brother, Wynand Milan, he started the Democratic Party with Dennis Worrell and Zak de Beer. So I hail from a
Yes.
from a political background.
Yeah.
And I think because I've seen, you know, how tough it can be, and because I'm already infamous,
Yes.
I can't be more infamous. You know, I kind of, you know, wouldn't just trot down that line.
If the opportunity presents itself.
Oh, it has. You know,
okay.
I've been at lunches with senior people from very different parties and, you know, very different walks. And I'll actually tell you a funny story. I won a CCMA case, and the person didn't, you know, get anything. And then he took me to the EFF.
Wowee.
So
And then
just
the
the other
EFF
abbreviations.
And
yeah.
then the EFF phoned me, and I had a long talk to this guy. I said, this is the fact, this is the story. I'm really... He said to me, but ma'am, you know, we need people like you at the EFF. So yes, I have been invited to join politics. it's you have to admire someone like Helen Ziller that has lived and breathed that, and I do not think I have the balls that she has to still stand and still take the punches and still take the mud and speak so eloquently about every governmental point.
Yeah.
But you know, who knows? If you will know if God calls you.
Yes.
At the moment, I've only been called by humans and the EFF. God hasn't called.
I love that. What a closing line.
What a
That,
closing
the-
line.
you put that in your pipe and smoke.
Oh,
That
that's
is
a
incredible.
good one.
Annie, yes, we can talk for hours.
Thank you.
I just want to pick your brain for so many things, but thank you for your time and just for always just being you, and that we can vicariously just live through you.
Yeah.
It's encouraging for us as well. It's really encouraging to see how you still, from being a child actor to even where you are now, still just have so much respect and love for this industry.
Yeah, but I read this book by you about, finding your light. And I find my light. And when the sun sets, I switch the chandelier on.
You always find your light.
Find
and you
your
do
light.
always find your light, because that's one thing I must say, whenever you enter a room, there's always light that comes with you.
Yeah.
Oh, that
You have that
Regardless.
energy.
You've
But
always
we
had
spoke
it.
about that energy, that gut feeling
That
is also
gut.
part of your energy.
when you're happy. I know we went through a tough thing with a client, and my one staff member said to me, Annie, it never rains on you. I mean, it was a really bad thing that was happening. I was like, okay, then we're going to do this and this and this now. And I think it just comes from, if I don't lead and keep on, I'm not bluffing, I just need to lead and say,
Yeah.
what do we do next?
Yeah.
There's no moment to sit back and say, pack the family trailer, we're going on a guilt trip. Let us let us lick our wounds
Yeah.
and call me Debbie depression. There's no time. You need to move.
Absolutely.
I think your book should be called The Art of Joyful Pivoting.
Yeah.
Pivoting,
Yeah, because you can pivot with joy and just move on.
but pivoting and winning her High Rocks age category.
Oh, beautiful.
It's just
I'm sure you
once
will.
again, we're living vicariously
I
through you.
was number 19 in my age group.
No, that is phenomenal.
And guys, and I did my first High Rock shows, and I spent about 12 minutes of my time talking cuck to the judges. Because there's a judge, and I'm an actor. I'm like, if I have the judge on my side, they're going to put me through to the next
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Judge, are you happy? Judge, I'm not going over there. And they're like, come. And then, there's a sandbag lunges where you lunge for like a 100 meters, and you're lunging with 20 kilos up here, and you lunge. And the judges are loving me, and they're clapping for me. And when I did my last 5, the one judge said to me, Tannie, ek wil net so oud word soos Tannie eendag. And I thought, oh my God, how can you call me Tannie? Ek kyk wat doen die Tannie dan nou
I
hierso.
get that as well.
But it's cute.
Listen,
is
Annie,
good.
where can people follow you? Where can they get hold of you?
At Annie Milan.
At Annie Milan.
As simple as that.
And I answer DMs, and I like you back. I follow back.
Yeah, and please, if you see Annie at a premiere or an event, please go say hello, because this woman's hugs are the best in the industry as well. So
And
please
she's
go.
dynamite.
And she's dynamite. But
So-
thank you so much for your time. We
A small
appreciate it.
packet. We love you guys, and thanks for what you do with Talent Etc.
We are
I
loving
don't
it.
think they know how much you guys do in terms of training the art and courses and the things you do around building your blocks
Because
for
we
your
all
people.
love the industry. I think that's what we're doing.
But that's why you do it so well. There's a lot of love,
There is a lot of love.
and you look after everybody so well. Even the people that we book from you, you look after them well. You give them a crash course in who met Animaland.
It's a special technique.
It's a very special technique.
Remember to subscribe and follow us at The Recovery Room. We like the comments. Give us a shout. And remember to own the phone
To learn from the fuck ups and
and keep on fixing it.
We'll see you next week.
Cheers.